Okay, so let's begin by building our length section of box. So let's begin by just drawing the outline of the cross section. Select a box, match up to the origin point. Then let's add some dimensions. 215.5. Then let's add our second dimension, 157.75. Okay, so now we're ready to extrude. Okay, so here's our extrusion option. Let's type in 500 millimeters. Let's go in the other direction. We need to see what's going on here. And extrude. Okay, so here's my box pre-made. Now we need to add a split line, so let's draw on the top face. Let's put in a line. Okay, we're happy with that. Okay, so now let's go to, it's in the mold tools toolbar. So split line, and we've pre-selected the sketch. So now we need to select the face. There's the face. Happy with this. It was a projection, and here's one face and our other face, both sides of the split line. Right, so now we need to go and convert to sheet metal. So here's the icon in the sheet metal toolbar. So the first thing we need to do is to select our unmoving face. And then we need to collect our bends. So here's the first edge, here's a second edge, and then we've approached the split line, so we need to build our other side. So 1, 2 corners, and let's zoom in. You can see the corners that we're applying by default. So we can change these, you can see in the corner, and changing to 4 mil. Let's go back to 2, and I can change the thickness. Let's go back. We can also reverse, but we're going to build this on the inside because we've got the right dimensions. Just in case we do want to change the width of this split, we can, if we go down to the corner defaults, you see the gap, we can modify the gap, make it a bit smaller, and we can try different types of corner fit to kind of just manipulate this gap. Okay, so I'm happy. Let's have another look at our part before we convert to sheet metal. Okay. And that's it. That's our sheet metal part. Okay, so here's the flat view, just to show it unraveled. So we've selected the flatten option. Now let's unflatten again. So we've got our box. Okay, so we need some connection points for our trunking section. So right, I've just selected a simple hole. Let's map it onto this side face. So it's going to be 6 mil in diameter. Through all, because we want a couple of holes, one on each side of this face. Okay, so well, but we haven't positioned it so far, so we've just drawn the hole. But we can go back and we can position it. So if we, let's just tidy this up. Let's go onto the side panel, select the sketch. Okay, so it's unconstrained, it's blue, so let's constrain it. So let's put in a little mounting line, let's straighten it up, and then we need to kind of bring it a set distance away from the edge. So let's make this, let's say 10 mil. Okay, and this is no good at the moment, so we need to turn it into a construction line. So I've ticked the box for construction. Okay, so now we're fully constrained, everything's black. We're happy with this. Exit the sketch, and we've got 2 fully constrained holes. And that's it. That's our box section part. We're ready to assemble with our main trunking section. And just to show you the flat view, the hole's still there. And there it is. Okay, so in the previous section of this video, I showed you the forming tool section going onto the main part. But now let's actually let's show you how that's actually built. So I'm drawing a square on a plane, and this is going to form the base of the forming tool. So 100 by 100 square, extrude, boss extrude, 5mm, doesn't have to be thick. Okay. And this is our plate. So now we're drawing on this plane, and let's extrude another box. Start off with our construction geometry. Here's our box. And this is going to be one of the thin sections of the vent. So let's position it 35mm back. Going to dimension my box. So here we go, 60mm. Select the right kind of thickness. 10mm. Okay, I've already worked this out pre-video, so I know this is the right position for my vent section. 70mm. Let's change it. It's a bit longer. We're happier with that. Notice everything is fully constrained. So now let's extrude, boss extrude, and let's come out 5mm. Yep, I'm happy with that. Okay, so this is the beginning of our forming tool. So here's one of our vent sections. We're going to fillet an edge. No, let's chamfer that edge instead. Put a generous chamfer in. 5mm, 45 degrees. Okay, yeah, I'm happy with that. Now I need to think, because this is a stamping tool basically, I need to round the edges that I'm looking to keep, because when I stamp I don't want to make sharp corners. So using my fillet tool to select all the edges that I want to keep and kind of just press into my metal part. So 2mm, I think 2mm I get away with. 3mm might be better if I'm, depending on the thickness of the metal part that you're stamping into, you need to consider the impression that you're going to make. So a 2mm part, you might decide to make your rads 3mm so that you get an impression of a rad both sides of the metal stamping. So okay, so here I'm doing a linear pattern. So 17.5mm across, 5 versions. Select all the features that I'm going to form in this linear pattern. So my boss extrude, my chamfer, my fillet, and yeah, so I've got the beginnings of my my grill, my vent stamp. Let's go to mold tools. Let's let's go to sheet metal forming tool. Okay, so stopping face, and that's going to be basically the face of the tool. And faces to remove. So it's a vent, so I need to kind of cut some parts out. So these faces I've built up, they're going to shear off as far as my forming tool is concerned. So I'm going to impress the yellow sections and cut the red sections. So that's the crux of the forming tool. So save as. No, let's give it a new name. So it's event. Got to think about where I'm going to put it as well. Yep, so event forming tool, and I need to find the forming tool file part name, which is somewhere near the top. There you go, form tool, and it's automatically defaulted to the design library, and I'm just going to save it there. So if I move over to the side, design library, click design library, and my forming tool is there, right there. And that's it. My forming tool is complete. Let's begin the assembly section of our video. So let's create an assembly file. Let's search our two part files, length section and main body. Place the length section, then the main body. Okay. Spin them round. You can see one's going to fit into the other. So let's get the orientation right, because we want the bolt holes to line up. So we know they're generally in the right position. The length section is actually constrained at the moment, whereas the main body is free to move around. So let's try width mate. Select two faces that we want to form the width mate from the main body, and then the purple bar. Select two corresponding faces, and basically what this is going to do, this is going to line up the part between the four faces we've selected. We can do this again. Make one more time. Go back to the width mate. Select two faces from the main body, and then two corresponding faces from the length section, and it lines everything up. Basically everything's central between the four face references. Okay, so these two parts should now just slot together. So if we select our bolt holes, if I've modelled this properly, it all goes together without any alerts. So all that hard work putting those jog features together. Now we've got two parts that are fully mated. And there you have it, our two box sections.